This is the sixth session, and this session is primarily on time management lessons from Bhagavad Gita, as it is Bhagavad Gita Jatarup, and hopefully we'll be able to learn from each other today. So let us start today's session. So a very basic question: why did Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita to Arjun? There were others also, like on the battlefield, like Bhishma, Dronacharya, Yudhishthir. Uh, was it like Arjun was very much detached, like a sadhu? We all know that Arjun was had 10 children, and he was very much a grihastha. So did Arjun have time? Definitely, he had time to think about it. When it was the time for war, there was like 48 minutes he spent, about an hour. So it is an example which is here. Like we go into an examination, and if we don't have a sharp pencil, then we don't have. If somebody says that, okay, we want to give a good examination, but we don't have time to sharpen our pencil, then how will they be successful in life in giving that exam? So it's a very easy to understand. So we should always spend time uh, taking message of Bhagavad Gita, uh, taking a message of Bhagavad Gita, and sharpen our intelligence. Because if we don't sharpen our intelligence, then we'll not be successful. So if somebody says, I don't have time, we should give an example of Arjun here, how he sharpened uh, his intelligence. And every day, every second, we know there are like every day, every single morning, we have a bank account which opens in the morning, and we are credited like 86,400 units, which is number of seconds, which can be worth like 1 rupee, let's say. Then this is the amount of money. We can't carry them over to next day, and we can't borrow that from yesterday also. We are credited every day, we have to use it effectively. But if we don't uh, know how to treat this treasure, then it becomes like common dust, and we are always like feeling that we don't have time. So this is a great lie, actually, our mind tells us. Because if you look at it, the person who kind of in other lives, that person also has 24 hours, and we are also having 24 hours. So what is the difference in that case, right? The difference is not it is not the clock, it is the intelligence. And Bhagavad Gita gives us that intelligence. With that, let us look at uh, famous sloka. I think many of you would be able to read this, but that's okay. I will read it for you and kind of explain what it says. So this is a this is a sloka from quoted by Chanakya, from Chanakya course. And it says like Nashtam dravyam lavate kasta shadde, and then it says Nashta vidya lavdate avyayukta nasta arogam su upacharam shushadadyam nasta veda ya katasa gataveya. So it says Nashtam dravyam lavate, like if we get some wealth, then if it is lost, somebody becomes bankrupt, we can we can gain it back, right? We can earn it back. If we lose uh, some nashta vidya, if we lose some knowledge, we read it again, we can earn it. If nashta arogyam, that means if we lose health, su upacharam, that means by good medicine care, we can regain. That's the same thing. But nashta vela, that means time lost, we can't gain. And that is what uh, our topic is for today. So with that, let's look at the first sloka that we have. So I have I put the sloka this time in the, so that we don't have to kind of switch screens. So I'll just read the sloka, and any one of you can raise your hand and read the translation which is underneath. Then we'll have a discussion. So let me read the sloka. Draivyam ma sama gama partha naitat tvai upadattate shudram hidraya durvalyam takto utita param tapa. So I'll just request any of you to volunteer. Just raise your hand. Okay, let me just unlock your microphones. Yes, please raise your hand, and you can read this translation which is here. Oh, son of Parth, like that. Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy.
Yes. So Krishna here is mentioning that see, time is valuable. Okay, Judyasya Vigata, and he's saying like in this particular sloka, he's mentioning that taktakshta parantapa. That means we have things happening to us. We need to make things happen. That is what Krishna is clearly telling uh, Arjuna here in this particular sloka. And if you look at it, uh, how in terms of okay, Krishna has uh, then how it is to be done, right? Let's look at the next sloka, that what is, like every time we are looking at, we are trying to find like what really distracts us. So again, like every time I'm going to read this sloka, and then we'll have a discussion. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasa adhatma chetasa nirasi nirmamo bhutva jugatso vigata jara. Okay. Translation, anybody can read? Please raise your hand. Translation is there at the bottom. Any of you can read? Yes, Sanchari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profits, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight.
Yes. So one of the reasons that we waste time, so mark my words here, time is the most valuable asset, but we use it in the worst possible way. So here, Juktaksha, so Krishna is saying, Vigata Jvara, get up from your lethargy, don't waste time. Again, I go back to uh, that same example, that the guy, the person who, that person is also having 24 hours, and the person who fails also has 24 hours. So that means the person who is successful uses his 24 hours, and the cause of not using is vigata jara or lethargy. That is what Krishna is highlighting here to Arjuna. Fantastic. So let's go to the next lesson, which is Krishna is now defining what is time, because now that we know that lethargy is mostly holding us back, we need to understand, okay, then how to fix it, right? So this is, we are reading from sloka chapter 10, sloka number 30. So let me again read the sloka, and then I'll request one volunteer to read the translation. Palyadaschasmi daityanam kala kalayatam aham mriganam cha mrigandya aham vainatescha pakshinam. Yes. Any of you can volunteer to read the translation, this part? Please raise your hand. Yes, Neeraj Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Among the Daityas demons, I am the devoted Pralad. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Uh, and among birds, I am Garuda.
Yes, thank you. So Krishna says that Kala Kalayam Aham, that Krishna is equal to time. Now let us understand what does he mean by this. So let's we think like we are fighting our manager, boss, any deadline or our competition. So this is actually not the correct thing. Like, are we in a wrestling match with the whole universe, and are we expecting that the universe is going to lose and we are going to win? So we have to align ourselves. So that's why here Krishna says that Kal, from the calculate, we have to calculate and we have to drive forward. He is saying that using time we need to drive forward. Akshaya Kala, right? Akshaya Kala. That means the time is inexhaustible, but with time itself is inexhaustible, but it consumes everything in the material world, right? Like we have a body, or everybody has a body, right? It will also get consumed in some time. We have a phone like iPhone, right? Some model, right? After some years, we need to get a new one. It is again like the time has kind of consumed it. So management is not about managing a watch. First of all, it is about respecting that the presence of every second. And when we waste a second, we are not just losing that second, but we are uh, disrespecting the opportunity to or rather, uh, it is not disrespecting, it's like we are not utilizing the opportunity of that particular second. So just to give an example, imagine that we are in an examination hall and the paper is in our hand, right? And in that moment, uh, we have to think about uh, what we have read. We are not going to think about what we watched on the TV sometime. So so Arjuna was in an ultimate examination, the battle of Kurukshetra, and Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to a man who has zero time because he was in a battle emergency. And if Arjuna could kind of find or to use every time in a calculated way, valuing every time, that is what Krishna is mentioning in this particular example. So when he says I am time, it means like Krishna is so much important to Arjuna. Arjuna is giving attention to Krishna in every step. Similarly, he's saying he Arjuna needs to give, or all of us needs to give so much attention to the time and plan our time in a way. So let us understand with one example actually. So there are two things in terms of whenever we do any type of planning, right? We prioritize and we schedule, right? जिस इसको बोलते हैं दिशा और दशा. Disha means where we are going. So let's say if you want to take a flight or a train, so we need to first know disha. Means in where we are going. Are you going to Mumbai? Are you going to Delhi? Where are we going? And dasha means which is the path to take, right? Do I buy the train ticket on Tatkal, or I buy the flight ticket on Make My Trip, or any apps, or I just go to the like the flight operator booking on this flight site. So uh, so this is what is meant by disha and dasha. And and then an example of disha and dasha is this. So let's say we have to fill up this jar with lots of rocks, and we are giving small large rocks to fill up this jar. So one way of doing it is, okay, we take all the small things first and put it in, so nicely it goes in, and then we keep on putting the larger things in the jar, and then we find that, okay, now the jar is not big enough to put rest of the larger rocks in it, right? But if we do it the other way around, and that is what Krishna was mentioning in the previous quotation, previous sloka basically. So it's an analogy of the previous sloka only. So what Krishna was mentioning, take your big rocks, take things that will take more time, do it first, and then gradually you put other small rocks. Gradually do things which you anticipate will take smaller time, and in this way ultimately you will see that 24 hours of our life every day will be nicely packing in everything that we want to do. So that is a practical example of what Krishna meant in the previous sloka, which is 10 point how much was it, like 10.30, right? That particular sloka. And So let's move forward on this. So another effective concept is effectiveness and efficiency. So this is another concept of time management. Basically, uh, हिंदी में अगर बोलेंगे तो effectiveness means सही करना, सही कार्य को करना, and efficiency में मतलब कार्य को सही करना, right? सही कार्य को करना, that means I do the right thing at the right moment. And efficiency means I do that thing in a most in the best way. ठीक है, दोबारा रिपीट करूं. Effectiveness means सही कार्य को करना, at that point what do I need to do. And efficiency means once that is identified, उस कार्य को सही से करना in the best of my ability, right? uh, so so in this context, this is something which we sometimes don't do properly, or we don't plan properly, these two concepts. And that's why that is the context of why Krishna speaks the next sloka which we are going to take, which is this one, uh, about procrastination. Yeah, Dirgha Sutra. So okay, let me read the sloka once more, and then any of you can volunteer. sab नहिष्टिककृतलव विषादि दीर्घसूत्री च kartatamasa uchyate. Okay. Okay. Anybody like to read the translation here? Any volunteers to read? Yes, Govinda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad
Hare
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. Very
Hmm.
well.
So this is the disease called, which is highlighted here, Dirgha Sutra. Hmm? हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना क्या, आज करे तो कल कर, नहीं, आज करे तो कल कर, जब जीना है बरसों, ऐसे कुछ था ना. ओके. So so yeah, like here we can see this Dirgha Sutra. That means we are differing things. So I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow is a ghost that haunts all unsuccessful people. So that is why it is said that like such a worker uh, is in mode of ignorance. That means he is in tamoguna or mode of ignorance, which is like lazy. And Dirgha Sutra literally means like long. It means like a sutra. Sutra means thread, long. मतलब उसको लंबा खींचना. So someone takes a simple task and stretch it is forever. So that is called Dirgha Sutra, the state of laziness. And this state of laziness is when uh, our consciousness become paralyzed. So procrastination is not a habit. Procrastination, I repeat, Dirgha Sutra, kal karega, parsu karega, aise, it is not a habit. It is actually a symptom that we are in mode of ignorance. And this is also called like procrastination is a known thief of time. It is stealing our future and feeding that to whom? Laziness, which is present in us. So there is a saying like someone was so lazy that that person picked up one day a bucket of water and in the washroom and then put it on the mirror and and started feeling that okay, already uh, that person has taken a bath. So 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 this is what it is referred here as a Dirgha Sutra, and this is the injunction of the scripture, and Krishna is clearly mentioning. And this is also a symptom that we should get away from people who are in the Dirgha Sutra, or who practice Dirgha Sutra like that. And in this effect, Krishna mentions one more. This is like the remedy of what he wants us to do, and we'll take this sloka again. So I will read this sloka. It is from chapter 18, sloka number 26, and then request one volunteer to read the translation. So let me read the sloka first. Mukta sango naham vadi vritti utsava samvanvita Siddhi ashiddhyo nirvikar karta satvika uchyate. Okay. Anybody would like to read the translation here? Please raise your hand. Anyone can raise their hand. Just read the translation. Okay. Okay. There are two hands. Okay. 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 Sanchari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness.
Fantastic. So Krishna is mentioning here to Arjuna that if we become in the mode of goodness, if we put ourselves in the mode of goodness, that is one way to free ourselves from laziness, which means we are going to free ourselves from procrastination, which means we are going to manage our time well, and that is what is our what is our objective, right? So mm, so we can see here that that two things are mentioned here with determination and enthusiasm, like, so these are uh, determination, performing his duty with lot of determination and lot of enthusiasm. Now one of the things that kind of affects this as well is the fact that sometime our enthusiasm is हाँ अभी मेरे को प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन का मुहावरा याद आया। आज नहीं तो कल कर, कल नहीं तो परसों, इतना भी क्या जल्दी है जब जीना है बरसों। So okay, let us come back to this discussion. So determination. Now how when we want to feel determined, there is an obstacle actually, and that obstacle is determination is always linked to enthusiasm, and enthusiasm is linked to something called instant gratification, right? Instant gratification. If we to give an example, let's give an example. Okay. So let's take the example that that we put a alarm clock that we are going to get up tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Let's say, right? So the alarm clock, it's a machine. It does a fantastic job. It does it work. We can't fault it. It rings at the right time. But then instant gratification. We feel like, okay, let me sleep for 5 minutes, and we snooze it, right? Uh, and we forget that we only set the alarm. We only asked the if there was any alarm devta to help us here, and now we are only sabotaging the whole uh, process and shutting it up for instant gratification. 5 minutes or so leta hu, right? So we think that short term in so 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 we talked about determination linked to enthusiasm is linked to instant gratification, right? Now that instant gratification, if we wanted to have enthusiasm of getting up, that instant gratification got converted into a laziness and procrastination, right? Because now we have fallen into this loop, right? we only snooze the clock, we become lazy, right? So we should think that some grat- gratifications will be delayed, like we work hard and then we plan a vacation during our chutti, Durga Puja, Diwali, right? Or we prepare for exams, and then finally there was a exam, like the final exam or entrance. And so see, uh, we took some tapasya with the view that there will be delayed gratification. So we need to prepare ourselves. That's what Krishna is mentioning here, that determination and enthusiasm, we should prepare ourselves that there is a long term payoff. Those payoffs are not always short term, so it can come little later, not instantly. And if we do that, then uh, then we automatically come in mode of goodness, and then we can get over our laziness, we can get over our procrastination, we then can manage our time. And that is the formula that Krishna is giving to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So this is a cycle, yes. Procrastinate, and then we feel guilty, we panic, we make excuses again, like procrastinate. So this cycle, right? But Krishna is mentioning here what we should do. We should change our habit of instant gratification, right, to long term payoff, right? Like, mm, so all of us know that today we are watching a lot of like not even short videos, like these are reels like 30 seconds, 1 minute, right? These are like instant gratification, and that is our power of determination and concentration actually goes down. So if we are to train ourselves to become determined and enthusiasm, let's say we read a book, because when you start reading, we don't know the end. So we are teaching our brain to be tuned with long term payoffs. And this is how we are training ourselves to become more determined with enthusiasm, which will get rid of our laziness, and then we can manage time. That is exactly what Krishna is mentioning here in this particular slokas to Arjuna. So with that, we come to the end of today's session.